Hi, I'm Tony Parrott, Executive Director of the Metropolitan Sewer District here in Louisville, Kentucky. I want to talk to you a little bit about a project called our Shawnee Combined Sewer Overflow Basin, which is actually located in Shawnee Park in the west end of Louisville, Kentucky. This project is a unique project because it is a very large combined sewer overflow basin. When I first came to Louisville, Kentucky, this project was one of many challenges that I had to address coming out of the gate. This project was a consent decree project. It had a milestone associated with that consent decree, and we had a lot of pushback from the community and from stakeholders. So we had issues relative to meeting the milestone and also trying to get the project off point. We elected to use progressive design build to bring this project forward so that we can manage the schedule and control the cost. We selected a very talented design build team to work with us on this project, and we developed an outreach process for stakeholders to keep them involved. This project, utilizing progressive design build, essentially went from an earthen park to a large functioning CSO basin in less than 2 years' time. So it is a project that was on time and on budget. It was a project that utilized not only the skills of our team, but the skills of our design build team as well, and also a lot of subs and contractors from the local community. This project also was designed to make sure it fit into the park so that it is an amenity. There were several amenities that we brought forth within the design build process. And so as we approach opening this facility, we are so proud and so thankful for the selection that we made in terms of using progressive design build. And we're also very proud of the Uleman Schutte team that worked with us on this project, and it is a success.
Hi, my name's Joseph Scott, and I'm a neighbor to here at Shawnee Park. I'm also the president of Joe Ash Construction and Grand Slam Sports Services, and I'm a part of this MSD Basin project. We have done also the basketball courts here at the Dirt Bowl. We also are doing the restrooms at the basin. We're doing the pavilion, and this job has given me an opportunity to empower my neighbors and local people here. It's also helped me train hard hires, people with maybe possibly records or something. We have got them trained on doing basketball courts. We've got them trained doing concrete work. So this has really been a great project, and I'm proud to be a part of the MSD Shawnee Basin project.
While this project may have taken a couple years to construct, there was a lot more in the planning stages. As many people that are really intimately tied in the project, there were several years of discussions with the Olmsted Park Conservancy. We had neighborhood group meetings. We had talking about the people that were going to be impacted by this, user groups. Everyone had a say, everyone had a role at the table. And so that wouldn't have happened without MSD leading the way. Tony Parrott and his team, Mayor Fisher and his team, making sure that everyone's voice was heard, that there wasn't going to be a huge disruption. And this is a project that I can honestly say was a win, 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 win. By that I mean, for MSD it was a win for the project. You didn't have to take houses. You were able to stay in a park where you'd been in here for over 100 years. You added amenities to it for the Parks and Recreation Department. Then you look at the neighbors, the park users, all the things that have improved since then. 3 basketball courts were renovated, a bandstand. The Great Lawn is going to be much better. You have a new open-air pavilion, handicap accessible restroom, a way station for people to stop, air up their bike, take a respite as they drive through the Olmsted Park here at Shawnee. And then you look at the overall community. Think about the improvements for the drainage, the stormwater, the retention, the ability to hold this that's going to improve for the entire community. Not often can you say that many people have won because of a project. And there was a lot of angst at first when people talked about, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to the park? Well, when it's all said and done, it's one of the things I said a couple years ago when we broke ground. What basin? You think about the improvements to the drainage, the research that Ullman Schutte and the MSD did to find out Paul Horning Field that had kind of gone fallow. It was a drainage issue. 12 acres have been improved, so the youth that play football, soccer, now have a place in the West End to call their own. A lot of programs are going to see a lot of improvement from that quality of work. You know, so often when you see a project and promises are made, people just don't deliver to what those promises were. I want to say that MSD and their team did deliver more to this community than expected. They said that they were going to hire local contractors. They were going to make sure people from the neighborhood had jobs. And it was very evident that they meant that when they hired Joseph Scott from Joe Ash Construction to be part of this project. Not a lot of projects can say they have a neighbor that was right here. Actually, he did a really great project with the dirt bow courts. You think about some of the historical athletic activities that happen here. This is the 50th year for the dirt bow. Those courts are second to none now. The Cornell Bradley dirt bow courts, the juice bow, the historic juice bow, the improvements, none of those activities were ever impacted during this work process. And that is a tribute to MSD and Ullman Schutte for their looking at the community and trying to make a difference.
My name is Brandon Flaherty. I'm the Louisville MSD Project Manager for the Southwestern Parkway CSO Basin project. With me today is Dakota DeRoche with Burgess & Nipel. She was the Basin Design Lead for the project. And Nick Ullman with Ullman Schutte Construction. He was the Construction Project Manager for this project. As a team, this was a lot of ours first progressive design build project, and we collectively decided that it would benefit the project team as a whole if a lot of our key team members participated in DBIA training and certification courses. And Louisville MSD, as striving to be a utility of the future and acknowledging that the design build delivery method is the way of the present and the way of the future, we worked with our DBIA Ohio Valley region to actually hold a DBIA training and certification workshop at our main office, where a lot of our key team members participated in and then subsequently received our associate DBIA certification. With Louisville MSD being new to the progressive design build delivery method, we saw it was vital for us to obtain the services of an owner's advisor to help guide us through the process all the way from procurement through operation. So when we brought on our owner's advisor, Brown & Caldwell, they helped educate me as the champion of the owner, Louisville MSD, to help educate all of our internal departments, from our legal staff to help draft a new contract, to supplier diversity, to procurement, to engineering, to operations. And luckily here at Louisville MSD, all of our multiple departments that had to be involved quickly bought into this new process. And it was a change of doing things. Everybody's used to doing the same things for as long as they've been at the company. But the way that our agency has bought into it and utilizing our owner's advisor and the design build best practices, it all started with our procurement. We chose to do, in the interest of time, because schedule was a driver in our decision, we chose to do a one-step qualifications-based RFP in which pricing was a very small component. We wanted to choose a design builder based on their qualifications and the qualifications of their team.
There were several unique design challenges associated with designing a combined sewage storage basin in the middle of a historic Olmsted park. First of which was balancing the needs of multiple different stakeholders. We had the project owner, Louisville MSD. We had the property owner, Louisville Metro Parks. We also had the Olmsted Conservancy, who was concerned with preserving the Olmsted nature of the parks. And one way we dealt with this was to have stakeholder meetings early and often where the team could come together and collaborate on design ideas. And several great solutions resulted from these meetings. One of which of these solutions was the idea to build up a low-lying area of the park and make it usable for ball fields. And we were actually able to save on hauling soil off of the project to use in this area. Preserving the nature and functionality of the park was a top concern for the Progressive Design team. At every step, we tried to minimize negative impacts to the park. MSD decided that the basin should be in the signature Great Lawn of the park, but that there should be no at or above grade structures in the area. With those criteria, we had to develop innovative solutions to get the operators safely inside the basin for maintenance. The team developed an innovative solution in the proposal stage to minimize impacts to the park. The facility was built with an underground pump station and operations building. It was designed like a walkout basement to fit into the hillside of an existing valley. To improve accessibility for operators, we designed a ventilated tunnel system above the basin. The tunnel houses valves, piping, conduit, and a control panel so operators can maintain washdown equipment without entering the basin. The tunnel also eliminated the need for hatches and an above-grade building in the Great Lawn. There were also operational and maintenance concerns, like how do you keep the basin clean, or maintain equipment, or even deal with odors. And some of the design solutions that we came up with for this was an automatic washdown system that uses flushing gates and tipping buckets. This automatically cleans the basin after every use to eliminate odors from the park.
So there were significant construction challenges related to building a 20 million gallon basin inside a historic park. The basin averaged over 55 feet in depth and was approximately 600 feet from the Ohio River, which resulted in significant challenges digging the hole and keeping the hole dry from groundwater. In addition to our construction challenges, we had a lot of neighborhood challenges to overcome. The team developed a significant public outreach plan, which included a 1-800 number which we would respond to any comments or concerns within 24 hours, and a website about the project where the community could get access to frequently asked questions and regular updates on the project. Throughout the design and construction process, we implemented a lot of DBIA's best practices, including co-location. We had weekly meetings between the design team, the construction team, and MSD's staff, as well as bi-weekly meetings with MSD's end users or operations staff, where we were able to provide real-time feedback to the owner on cost and schedule impacts to the decisions we were making. In addition to this, throughout the design deliverables, we actually used technology, VR technology, to allow the end users to view the basin, access and see the functionality of where we were putting things and how things would operate at the end of the day.
The Progressive Design Build delivery model allowed this project team to exceed the expectations of a very diverse group of stakeholders. Stakeholders such as the Parks Department, Louisville Metro Government, Shawnee Community, the Olmsted Conservancy Group, State Historic Preservation Office, MSD, and its ratepayers. This integrated team used partnering very successfully on this project. Initial partnering sessions were geared towards alignment of goals. Subsequent partnering sessions were geared towards alignment of subcontractor, stakeholder goals, and subconsultant goals.
My takeaway from completing my first Progressive Design Build project was the true sense of collaboration between all parties. Feeling like I'm working with the contractor and not that the contractor is working for me. And by attending the DBIA Water Wastewater conferences for the past 4 years, the first time I attended was when we actually issued our RFP, has allowed me not only to network with practitioners throughout the country, but also owners who are both new and experienced in the design build delivery method, and has allowed me to further my education throughout the process.
I also thought this was an amazing project experience. I felt that the progressive design build nature of this project allowed us to work more closely as a team and allowed us as the designer to work more closely with the owner to be able to meet their true needs for the project.
As Brandon and Dakota said, working together as a team with a common goal in mind, we were able to work collaboratively to achieve a common goal and make this a very successful project.